All right, so I am losing my little bit of light. The baby is asleep, and we are going to try our best to get through pre release thoughts for Free Agent, which is Connecticut King's book 10. 10. Yes, 10. Coming not this Friday, but next Friday, June 28th. Speaking of the baby and the Connecticut Kings, this is a football that he bit that he bit a hole in. We had to promptly take from him because that is a choking hazard that I didn't even realize would be a choking hazard, but it is. And here we are. Anyway, so Free Agents, oh, it's not heavy in tone, but it is still probably one of the hardest books I've ever written. And man, like saying that out loud. But it is it's the first full length novel I've written since, since baby arrived. Um, I've started and stopped it several times. Started it, had sent it to betas, and then had like went back and completely retooled some stuff. Um, just because it was so difficult for me. And again, not even necessarily because of any subject matter, but just with relearning how, like almost relearning how to be an author all over again. Um, Very difficult. Like 0 out of 10 do not recommend, but here we are. We made it happen. So, to that end, it would be incredibly difficult for this book to not be just very almost a sensitive topic, I guess. Like sensitive topic doesn't really is not quite it. But I will say, so my betas, and I actually brought on a couple of new, a couple is two, a few is three. I brought on some new betas with this project. And I hope I did not scare them off because like I was getting, thoughts and reactions kind of as everything went along and I was getting, comments and stuff and then, kind of like final comments or whatever at the end, just kind of hearing those and I had to like check my like gut reactions because like before I responded because I had questions. And so when I responded, I have to make sure, like this is not just you being like sensitive, right? Because the last thing I want to do is like gaslight these women into, into thinking or feeling like their opinions are wrong because they're not. They're opinions. And, your opinion is your opinion. And that's just what it is. But I felt like I needed to make sure, like, hey, you know, I want to make sure that this feedback is not because you're looking for something from me as an author, because you get this thing from other authors and you get this from them in a certain way, just making sure that what you feel, like that your feelings around, this certain thing are not necessarily simply because this is what you're used to getting from other people and not because you really feel like you need it from me because a lot of times I feel like and this is me as a reader, as well, we have things that we enjoy in books and we kind of we kind of want that from every book even though that might not even necessarily be what that author does and what that author does I guess, well, I guess it depends on who asks, or I guess it would just depend on, on who was reporting it, I guess. But there's this is very specific feedback that I have always gotten, that I have always gotten as an author. And I was talking to Love about this, and I was explaining, what I did and what the feedback was about what I did and how I felt, how I felt about that versus how, the people who were giving me this, incredibly valid feedback, in terms of it, being how they felt about it and it being their opinion. And I disagreed. I disagreed, which is consistent with what I've always done, as an author. And she was like, okay, I hear you. Um, and she told me, that it feels like I'm looking at it in a healthy way, but that ultimately, like, I'm gonna have to stand on it. Like, I'm gonna have to, be firm in it, or I'm gonna have to, accept and be ready to hear, that criticism, because it's criticism that I know. But I didn't fix it. I didn't fix it because I didn't feel like it was something that needed to be fixed. Like this is my voice as an author, and I didn't feel like it needed to be fixed, even though I heard it from almost everybody. And but that's the thing. Like, if it brings your feeling about the novel from, a 5-star read, your favorite, read, down to a 4, I have to eat that, and I have to accept that, and I have to just be okay with that. And I am, because, like, I'm since 15 in my stilettos. Well, no, but seriously, it's been umpteen summers, and I just gotta, I just have to eat that, and I'm okay with that. And I hope that this does not, like, have you scared or anything like that, because it's nothing like that. Like, all of the betas, they all enjoyed it. They all told me, it feels complete. Like, there wasn't any, I didn't leave any holes or anything. There was just this one particular thing that if you read my work, if you are CCJ down to your socks, you probably can already guess what it is. I'm just trying not to necessarily give any spoilers, but no, I had a good time having the worst time of my life writing this book. What helped a lot was that Tatum, the hero, is a breath of fresh air. Like, Tatum is, he's a country southern, not even necessarily southern, but like country, like definitely country. And his sense of humor, he is just very I kind of want to say it borders on corny, but I mean that, like, in the best possible way. But Tatum is not corny to me. Tatum is not corny. I think that there's some readers who, for them, he's going to read as corny, but he's not corny at all to me. I love me some country boy Tate. I love him. He is incredibly funny. Um, which was fun for me, because I feel like, like, it's been a while since I've done, kind of the more comedic. And I'm sorry, I'm just losing this light little by little, more and more. Hold on. Okay, I was trying to see if I could open the blinds a little bit more to give myself a bit more, but the sun is going down. Um, anyway, Tatum is incredibly funny. It's been a very long time since I've done rom com, and so this was, I was able to kind of touch that a little bit, which was a good time. Rory, which I still have such a hard time saying, like, can you name a heroine something and you can barely say it yourself, because I am country. If you have not picked up on it, or if you did not know, I live in Arkansas, like, and I've lived in Arkansas, like, pretty much all of my life, like, since I was a very small child. And so I am country. Like, there are elements in the book that, are definitely very close to home for me, when it comes to Tate and all of that. And then Aurora, I said it right. I think I said it right. Did I say it right? Anyway, um, she is a nerd, which is also near and dear for me. She is a developer, and so I was able to ask my husband a lot of questions because he works in that field, and so I was able to kind of, like, hey, can you tell me if this makes sense, or, et cetera, et cetera. But of course, I still took some, creative liberties. It's still fiction, but it was a good time. It was a good time. And I remember when I first started writing this book deep last year, because if you remember, these were supposed to be summer releases last year. But anyway, um, I remember just being very nervous about my heroine's story, just kind of um what she was coming out of in order to enter into this thing with Tatum. Um and it is just very y'all be so hard on here. Y'all be so hard on the heroines, and y'all are gonna be hard on her. Y'all are gonna be hard on her, even though you're gonna feel her. You're gonna feel her at more than one point. But I just already know what to expect with that. But again, I can stand on it though. I can stand on it. But I was very nervous about that, and it almost made me switch it up. It almost made me switch it up. But again, I had to stand on it, and I feel like Rory is very real. Like I feel like she is very unfortunately relatable to some degree, when it comes to some of these things. I feel like she's also very strong. She's also very strong. I think it'll be very easy to look at her situation and, see her as weak or see her as, stupid. But I don't think either. I don't think any of those things about Rory. I think that she is just. I, I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get spoilers if I do too much. In any case, Free Agent is coming out on June 28th. My first full length in a while. It is not like I do not write long books at any point, and so do not expect like 400 or 500 pages from Free Agent because it's not that. But I put a lot. There is a lot of my time, my tears, my energy, all of that into this. And again, it almost felt like having to kind of relearn some of this stuff all over. Being needing to just approach it in a way that was very, very unlike the way that I've been able to get things done previously, and kind of letting go of the way that I would usually get things done because it just I don't have that anymore. Like I'm not there anymore, and I have to learn and adapt and figure out new things, just like Rory had to learn and adapt and figure out new things. But yeah, yeah, we might put a little pre-order or something up. And we also, I have it set, and I'll try to put the link like in the bottom where you can, if you want to download the first chapter, like a first chapter preview before June 28th, you can do that. And we'll be, keep you guys updated. We'll have fun with it. We'll do some giveaways and, maybe like a live or something like that to really have fun and really like just, just make it like a make it a big deal. Make it a big deal. Like if you follow me on this page, you have heard me talk a lot probably about how I feel like I don't make as big of a deal as I should around my releases, and that's another thing that I've been trying to like rethink and redo and kind of revamp. And so, if you've seen, I've been doing kind of more promoting than I have recently, and like just really really putting just more into it. You know what I mean? But one thing I will like, one thing I am gonna say, one thing I am gonna say is no, I'm not gonna say that. That's all. Bye.